And we're live. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Truth of Work podcast. Look at these two handsome young men right here. Trent from the Bitcoin Technician and Anthony from the Bitcoin Backpacker and Trent the Bitcoin Technician. What's up, guys? How you guys doing? Don't answer at the same time.
I think Trent might be muted right now. He's a technical. But what's up, y'all? We're chilling here. Beautiful day. Man, this weather over here is nice, bro. I know you're cooking like fish grease in Vegas. And
Yes.
This guy over here, his weather is just like it's like he's in the snow still.
No, it was 82 degrees yesterday.
Whoa.
Oh, nice.
And now it was snowing this morning.
Bipolar, basically.
Yeah.
That's how it was for me back home in Rochester. It was like literally.
Oh yeah,
I can't do that.
Pretty similar.
Yeah, that's like getting sick every other freaking week, right?
Try working outside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fanny's in the house. What's up? What's up, her? What's up, Fanny? Hello, everyone. Hey, Lauren. What's going on, brother? How are you? Hiya, peace. Hey, Jenny. What's up? Good job hitting that like, people. Yes. We're still, unfortunately, on my channel with the live streams, but the clips will go on the Truth to Work podcast. And if you guys want to contribute to the show, you guys know what to do. There's two ways you can do it. You can do it with the poor man's plan, which is hitting the like button, subscribing, and sharing. But if you want to help out monetarily, there's a thing right here. This little thing. This is not going to my wallet. Other way, Anthony. Yep, that way. This is our wallet of Satoshi, Truth of Work podcast reserve wallet. So if you guys want to help out, Anthony Backpacker will be shouting out the people that do that. He has the wallet up. Pause. LOL. Hit that like. Spaceman, what's up, bro? Buy what? Spaceman, what's good, man? I use Spaceman. Who wants to be the first to zap today? To make sure that, just to make sure the wallet works. We're not sure if it works. So if somebody wants to send in one sat to see if it works, let me know.
Yeah, we need
Please
confirmation.
and thank you. Yes. So Trent, how you doing today, brother? How was your weekend?
I am doing great. It was super awesome yesterday. I got to enjoy some weather. Not so great today, so I kind of did a little movie day this morning. So,
how was your week?
Good. I got to do some. They're sending me out to different areas to do some fiber work, so keeping me busy on Fridays at least.
Nice. Backpacker, how was your week and how was your weekend?
Weekend's great. The week was busy. Did a bunch of stuff with the kids. Fanny homeschooling. I did a pressure washing gig. Getting ready to start the season. And so that went well. Banged that out in a day. And then had work this weekend with my residents. And then now I'm at home switching the hat.
Absolutely, bro. Can you do me a favor, Anthony? The people that can't scan the screen, can you send me the address to the wallet of Satoshi? I'm going to put it on a banner here, brother.
Yes, sir.
So I can do that. What do I call it here? Wallet of Satoshi. How was everybody's weekend, by the way? Let us know in the comments, please, and thank you. Truth. I'm trying to pretend like I can do two things at once, which I can't. Truth of Work wallet Satoshi. Thank you, Backpacker. Let's see. Okay. Needy Act. We're gonna straighten that out, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
We have to send the things over a couple times or whatever it is.
I think we're under the limit. Is what's holding it up.
Yeah, they want it Onchain too, I believe.
Really?
Yeah, it says I believe that's what it says.
Is that right? Needy Act. Needy Act 884 Wallows. Yep, there it is, guys.
Yeah, that's it.
That's our temporary name right now till we get the Truth of Work. Boom.
Boom.
What was that?
So we got a 1776, and it
Who was that
doesn't
from?
say. So please put that in the comments, guys.
I wonder if does Wallet Satoshi not have messaging?
I think they do.
I've never used it.
Yeah, I think they do. Hi, Lauren. Disco Trent. Hello,
Disco.
Spaceman. Hello, Fanny and Jen.
Like disco?
Yeah, you were doing this when you were.
That was me.
Hello, Jen. Too short. Yes.
Ouch.
Weekend was great. Fanny, look at that. Sending money to herself.
Yes, it's coming back to
I
you.
love it. Oh, whoa. Wow. Let me pull this up, guys.
Did the phone get heavy?
Yeah, I got a little nervous there for a second.
He's not used to this. He's to build up
my
my
wallet
resistance.
of the slow Satoshi is slow today. Yeah, that's the real wallet though. It's supposed to be a little bit slow. You know what I mean?
So I'll have to just show you this way because but that was 12,345.
Oh, I wonder who that was.
Yeah, I wouldn't know who that was.
I have no idea.
Wow, Jenny. I mean, we don't know who that was, Jenny. Jenny, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Jenny. Been snowing all day where I'm at. Started last night about this time. Oh man, Spaceman, where you at, bro? Where you at? No, it's not loading. It worked. Jenny.
Yeah,
It went through.
Yeah, it went through.
It went through, Jenny.
Thank you so much, Jen. I appreciate that. We all appreciate that.
Yes,
Blessed.
ma'am. But as you guys can see here, Bitcoin is quote unquote crashing right now. And
That's a generous word.
yeah, no, it's not really crashing, but people like to say stuff like that. But hi, Jen. Jen, thank you so much, man. Right now we're just under 68,000. It's so funny, man, because in 2021 that was the high, 68, 69.
Mm-hmm.
And now at 68, that's a crash. I sent from Strike. Oh, okay. Thank you, Jenny. Huh.
Oh,
Well,
she was pushing from Wallet Satoshi and it didn't work, and she switched.
okay. Did you send a message in there, Jenny? I'm in Maine. Oh boy.
And I'm thinking we got another one. There's some tremors going on over here, guys. 4,321 sats. Hard to see on here.
Wow.
Wow.
Is that Nico? That's got to be Nico. Hi, Fanny. Glad I finally got to chat with Flipper. 67,900. Yes.
I think I'm gonna sell all mine and switch it to Caspa. I had a conversation with Jen earlier. She's convinced me. I think I'm gonna switch it.
I don't blame you, man. Caspa's the way. It's the faster Bitcoin. That's what they tell me.
Faster Bitcoin.
Chip is cheaper. It's better. Nico sent in a little something too. Thank you, Nico. I appreciate that. No message. Meaning the messages don't work, or you didn't send a message. Because I think it does work. Loving the dip. Me too, man. Me too. What's up, fellas? Trey Day, what's up, bro? How are you, sir?
Did Trey switch his icon?
Yeah, it threw me off too.
Okay. Oh, she loved talking to you, Jenny. Trenton is gonna punch you. Okay. Are you gonna do that, Trenton? Yes,
I would
Casper,
never
go
punch
for
anyone.
it. He said go. Jenny said go for it.
I know. I've had this conversation.
I didn't send a message. Okay. Are we switching to Casper now? LOL. I mean, Satman. I mean, Trent loves that, man.
Don't DOS me.
Trent, Jen is gonna punch you. Yes. But anyways, guys, it's Sunday. We're just relaxing, chilling, and it's a Sunday here. So we're gonna put the orange. Gonna put some orange stuff on just for a second. You know what I'm saying?
How blind are you?
I can't see shit, dude. Now, I actually could see you guys a little right now, but like I can see. I don't need glasses to see. I just need glasses to read.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I couldn't even see the screen if I took mine off.
Oh, wow. It's not that bad. What's up, fellas? What's up, Vic?
Big shoot.
How are you? Freaking Jerry. Yeah, man. We're just chilling. But you know, there's so much stuff going on, and we have so much stuff to dump on you guys. But you know, we were thinking behind the scenes. You go, you know what? This is not all about us. It's about you guys. So we could dump a bunch of stuff on you, or we can just have a conversation, and you can ask us some questions or tell us what you want us to talk about. Ask us a question, we'll answer that or talk about that. Is there anything you guys want to talk about now? Obviously, the elephant in the room is Bitcoin is down today. Does anybody have any idea why? I'll start with you, Trent. Why do you think Bitcoin is down right now?
It's more war talk, pretty much. As I'm assuming the market is down overall. I kind of don't check it on the weekends, so I'm not sure what it was doing Friday, but I'm sure it was going down.
Anthony, what do you think, brother?
Yeah.
What's up, Jason?
I think it's uncertainty, but we know the way the game plays when there's uncertainty. You know, Bitcoin always, you know, rallies and does its thing. But, you know, I think another thing we need to remember too, along with the current events, is that, you know, something new now compared to what we had then was we have paper Bitcoin. We have institutional hands all up in the pot. They're going to play their fiat games like they do. Some people like to think that that can't happen with Bitcoin, but that's far from the truth. So at the end of the day, we just got to keep on buying as much as we can.
I mean, it's already been proven that it's being manipulated on the paper side.
Yeah,
absolutely. I remember when I first got into Bitcoin, people said that couldn't happen. I said, "Bro,
Oh,
it can't happen."
I mean, why couldn't it?
Exactly. So, do you guys think we're at the bottom? Pause or what?
Well, we got 68. We're not even at the local bottom.
Nah.
Do you think we're gonna? Because we've already hit like what was it, 62, 61?
That was on that really low dip. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think we've hit the low so far, guys, or do you think we're gonna go lower than that?
What? March? No, we got a little more room.
Yeah. I think we can still break
58K gang, you think?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wouldn't be that hard.
And what are you guys going to do if we hit 58K?
Sell my truck.
Wasn't that funny? Because was it last year we were 58K gang, or was that the year before?
Year before.
Okay. God, these years are going by so quick. Yeah. It was during the election cycle. And I remember thinking everybody was like, "Oh my God, 58K gang." I'm like, "Bro, I'm loving this, man." You know what I'm saying? So what do you guys suggest to people that are maybe a little newer to Bitcoin, maybe in the last 6 months to a year, guys? What do you tell people? Because you guys are veterans here. You guys been in for a long time. What do you tell people that are going through their first downtrend and also just going sideways? What do you think they should do?
Go, Anthony.
You know, that's a tough one, Jerry, because there's two ways you can play this. There's a Bitcoin side and there's a fiat side, the side that they've been used to and it's all they know. So I respectfully think that it's more so teaching them and understanding the current monetary system and what they're holding and explaining how the dollar works, the devaluation and all that. Because if anybody coming in does not understand just the way their own current system works and what's happening, then them understanding Bitcoin is extremely difficult. And that's how it was for me. I didn't know the way our system worked. I didn't know anything about anything. And it was kind of an eye opener, because you're kind of like, wow, you know, I'm like 30 something years old. I didn't even really understand this, and I thought I did. But the best advice I'd have to give, along with giving Bitcoin advice at the same time in tandem, is them understanding actually how the system's robbing them. So that way they can kind of have something to relate it to. Because otherwise you're just saying, hey, go over here and try this. And they think the system they're in is still fine. I don't know, and each person's different. So the way you approach it, it has to be based off of what that person's giving you.
Agreed. Go ahead.
Yeah, my advice would be walk away, because I've did it for 6 years, and this is the first dip. I'm good. Like the other 3 I've gone through, 2 I've gone through, I sold. I went and did other things. I did ETH. I did. Caspa wasn't around, but that's the joke. But I did all the smart contracts things, Ponzi schemes, DApp ROIs. I mean, what is it? NFTs. If there was a way to lose money, I did it. So walk away. If you walk away long enough, you never lose money in Bitcoin.
Agreed. Now, what do you mean walk away?
Meaning stop watching it.
Oh, don't look at the charts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Agreed. I can't help it, man, because I buy every hour on the hour, and it just shows me what I bought, and I'm like, oh, let's get some more.
That's a big one, Trent.
Yeah. My advice, without giving you financial advice, is buy more. If you understand what you have, because again, and I'm not trying to tell anybody like to time the bottom or time the dips or something like that, but just this is why we talk about having dry powder and having cash on the side, because you never know. It's not just for emergencies or trips and stuff like that. It's for times like this, man. If we were at 71, 72, and then all of a sudden it goes to 67, and instead of getting 1,408 Satoshis for $1, now you're getting 1,475, and you put in, 40, 50, 60 bucks. That's just extra sats that you wouldn't have got before. So I would suggest, if you understand what you got, keep on stacking. Now, Fanny said something very smart here. She said, what'd she say about the 48 hours? What'd she say here? About the 48-hour.
That was punching me in the face.
Well, no. We were talking about dipping lower. And she says she thinks it's because of the 48-hour. Yes, it's due to the 48-hour deadline. And Fanny said because of the 48-hour deadline. So let's take a look at that real quick. And what the 48-hour deadline is, Trump talking about giving Iran 48 hours to make a decision. Let's take a look at that real quick.
Deadline for that ultimatum to Iran about the Strait of Hormuz. To get into that Truth Social post, the president wrote, if Iran doesn't fully open without threat the Strait of Hormuz within 48 hours from this exact point in time, the United States of America will hit and obliterate their various power plants, starting with the biggest one first. That was last night. Today, Iran's Speaker of Parliament responded immediately after that happens. The critical infrastructure, energy infrastructure, and oil facilities through the region will be considered legitimate targets and destroyed in an irreversible manner. An Iranian military spokesman said private sector targets are fair game, as well as oil and energy infrastructure.
All power plants, as well as the energy and information and communications technology infrastructure of the Zionist regime, will be extensively targeted. All similar companies in the region that have American shareholders will be completely destroyed.
2 Iranian missiles got through Israeli air defenses, and they hit the towns of Dimona and Arad in South Israel, very near the Negev nuclear research facility. The IAEA says there's no danger of radiation leaking. They were 1,000-pound warheads. They injured more than 100 people. Iran said the missiles were in retaliation for strikes at their Natanz nuclear enrichment facility. Those strikes were carried out by the U.S., not Israel. Meantime, President Trump spoke with Israel's Channel 13. He said that we will find out soon what will happen in the likely event that Iran does not meet his deadline or answer his ultimatum. He says Iran has been acting bad for 47 years. They're about to get their comeuppance. Tommy?
Wow. What do you guys think about that? And do you think Trump will actually go through with his threat/promise?
Absolutely. Get ready for the show. First of all, number one, I think pretty much he says what he's going to do. And he's like, I'm giving you an opportunity. Here's what you can do. You don't want to agree. That's fine. And then actions happen. He hasn't done anything for the most part, in his term that he said he wasn't going to do. He's now, yeah, people want to, he said he wasn't going to go to war. He said he wasn't going to do this and that and blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, here's my deal. Here's my thing. He's my commander in chief. Okay. I voted for this individual. I voted for the lesser of two evils, if that's the way you want to put it. Okay. but I voted for this man. I put all my trust in him, in our military, in the actions of what they're doing, and I'm going to support them no matter what. Now, I do think Iran is not going to bow out of this. They're not. They're 100% not. And so it's going to happen. Now, in the manner of which it happens, he's, what he's saying, how he's going to do it. We don't know the scale of this. But here's the thing. That's just like the tip of the iceberg, because that could lead to a chain of events that we have no idea. I mean, we're coming on this thing day to day, week to week, right? Every 4 days, whatever. And it's just, it's not slowing down. So it's absolutely going to happen if they don't bow down.
Agreed. Now, follow-up question. Do you think, because your wife and Jenny said this, do you think Bitcoin's price going down has something to do with this?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, like, not being like a chart boy, but I do think that it's always important to stay up to date with current events, global events, macroeconomics and stuff like that, because, things like that affect every and any market. No market is immune to short, medium, long-term current events and things like that. So it'd be foolish to say that, this isn't causing that. I absolutely believe that this has a part, something to do with it. To say it's all of it, I don't know about that one, but a majority of it, I would say absolutely.
Yeah, and I agree with you, because Trump is playing a high, in my personal opinion, he's playing a high level game of chess. It's not, because people look at things, if they look at the media and stuff like that, they just look at everything on a surface level and go, oh, he's attacking Iran. I thought you said the nuclear capabilities were taken out in the summer. You said no wars, this, that. They're not putting things in the right context to me, and they're not giving the right nuance. Because again, I think Trump, and I've said this since before he became president, that he thinks decades down the road. He thinks long ways away. He's got grandkids. I think has great grandkids too. He's like a Bitcoin president. He really is. He thinks long term. He's just not thinking about this. And Trump 2.0, in my personal opinion, the reason why he's so savage is because he doesn't give a shit. He knows he's not going to be the president again. He doesn't have to worry about that. So that island, what's it called? Kong, the Iranian island that has like 90% of the gold. I mean, the oil, the black gold, is
exported oil.
Yes, I think it's a chess move by Trump, because if we as America, because we already have control of Venezuela, we're already cool with the Saudis, we're already, fracking for our own oil, so we're completely energy dependent. If we get their oil over there, which I think that's the game plan, is to be energy dominant, not only having the most energy, but controlling the most energy, and not just having it in our Western hemisphere. Because again, we talk about the down road doctrine and all this other stuff, but he's also going over there to the east, and guess what he's doing? He's weakening our two biggest enemies at the same damn time, because China gets a lot of their oil from that. So for us to get it, control it, and again, what do we need for the AI? We need energy. Mm-hmm. And so that's why when he talks about being the quote unquote crypto president and all this other stuff, he's not just talking about that. He's talking about AI. He's talking about crypto. He's talking about oil. He's talking about energy. He's talking about mining. He's talking about everything, bro. He wants to dominate in all facets, right? Now, he is going to do some or make some controversial decisions in between there, because again, he's coming from a very high level thinking, hey, once I make this move, everybody's going to be pissed off, but we're only doing this because we're moving ahead 4 spaces this way, right? That's why a lot of people, these Democrats and all this, are mad about, what he's about to do in Cuba and what we talked about in Venezuela. I think personally that Trump is going to do what he's doing to Cuba. He's not going to do the Venezuela style. He's going to do what he's going to do to Cuba. And what is that? You can have your regime in there, but we have to approve it, and you got to play ball. You got to do exactly what we say. And that's how I see it. I don't know if that's the case or not. But when you start putting all this stuff together, to me, it's clear as day. And so when people tell me that are in Bitcoin that they tell me that, oh, I'm just going to, bury my head in the sand and I'm not going to look at the, not only American politics, but geopolitical things. I'm like, bro, Bitcoin is a money. It's not a secret society that has nothing to do with everything else. It is money for the internet, and it's for the people, of the people, and by the people. And it's money that we use for not only transacting on a small level, but people use it as a safe haven. And so far, Bitcoin has done better than everything as far as when this war started. Gold has started crashing. Silver started crashing. Yeah, we dipped today because of the 48-hour situation. But so far, Bitcoin has been outperforming everybody. So again, to sit there and tell me that all these things are tied together, to me, you just don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you kind of missed my side of it. You started off with saying, did Trump do enough to do this? I think they didn't do enough to actually start this. If I was the military leader, there's absolutely no way a single person in Iran would have electricity day one, because they're just hiding, military assets in civilian electrical zones so they can have power, internet, whatnot. They wouldn't have internet. They wouldn't have power. All communications would be getting jammed if I was, if I were making those decisions. And you're right, it is about the oil. It's not even about us controlling the oil. It's about China not getting the oil. Trey, actually, in the chat there, was wondering about what if China decides to do this, why we're all talking about Iran. This whole reason is to keep China from going into Taiwan, because if you can't wage a war without oil, and we've pretty much rallied up about 80% of their sales in the last 3 months.
Good point. So he wants to do what he's doing to Cuba. I mean, you're saying if you were king for the day, you would do what he's doing to Cuba to Iran with the power.
No, I would have knocked everything out first 24 hours. This 48-hour thing where he's finally, we're 2 weeks into this. Now he's going to take down civilian the electrical grid. That would have been done day one. It's mean, but it's war.
You're savage. You're a savage, bro.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
That's all there is to it. All right, let's see what everybody's talking about here. Sorry, guys, I'm missing the comments here. Trump say, get down or lay down. That's right. Great advice, Trent. Yes. Heck no to equal chips. Yeah, we can't let China take over Taiwan. We can't let them do it. This is why I say we need to be independent of that stuff. Because again, me personally, and again, this was a Joe Biden thing, and I don't want to go on a rant here, but what Joe Biden's administration, or the Auto Pen administration, did with the war in Ukraine, basically being in a kind of in a little pseudo war with Russia. I didn't like that, but only reason we did it because A, they're kind of our allies, and B, it'd be a threat against NATO. And now you see what the NATO countries have done to us. After all this money we're spending on them, they're not really, not all of them, but no, they're coming on now, but they're kind of like Jerome Powell, kind of late. And so again, Trump is pulling the ultimate card of showing them that, hey, not only do they have nuclear capabilities that can shoot missiles towards, farther than the Middle East, but you may want to get involved in this, because if you don't, we're gonna pull out of NATO, and that's including our money. And so Trump is playing again a high level game of chess here. Is the CEO and marketing team for Bitcoin that determines the price? Yes, buy more. Pretty simple, yeah.
And on the oil thing, like you were talking about, you don't want to be involved in the oil. This is all just political power. Has nothing to do with local oil supplies. If we want to tomorrow, it would take six months to a year to ramp up, but we could be oil independent without any imports. We did it before in 2016. We didn't have any imports from Saudi Arabia or any of the East or the Middle East countries, and we were 100% on American oil.
And that was because who was in office?
I believe that was the Orange Man.
It doesn't happen when it's the other way, because what happens is I think we've gotten complacent. Like we think America was so strong. America was weak. We were weak. We went from Bush, who was a phony Republican, as far as I'm concerned. And then you go from the next, right? I mean, you go that long.
I don't even know the last time we were oil independent before Trump. I couldn't tell you when. World War II, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, it's a long time ago.
Yeah. Jason says something because Jason doesn't like, because a lot of people that are in MAGA, not a lot, but there's a maybe 30%, 25-30% of MAGA is definitely against this. And Jason's in that camp. And Jason says, I thought we already got their power plants and nuclear facilities, laughing emojis. They just be bluffing. Yeah, bro, but if a president campaigns on no new wars and draining the swamp and he doesn't do it, like, come on, gang.
I mean, you didn't have to vote for him then. I mean, things happen. Policies change. War, it's politics and it's current events. That the word is current.
Yeah, and if that's the only thing that we can draw from, I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
because I can go to the other side and draw a bunch of things.
Yeah, you don't think we would be in Iran right now if Kamala won? We'd still be there. We would just be incompetent.
That's scary.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And Jason, respectfully, I hear you. I understand. You know what I mean? I don't know, like, because sometimes we get influenced by who we listen to, and there are a lot of people that are in quote unquote MAGA or Republicans or libertarian kind of people that are kind of like doomers and black pillars and stuff, and they're just always constantly showing the negative of what Trump is doing, and I'm just like, well, why don't we just have a wait and see situation? Like, again, we don't know what's going to happen, but to sit there and try to pretend like Donald Trump and his team is incompetent and don't have a plan, to me, that's just like very surface level to me. You know what I mean? Thoughts on China moving? You already answered that one, but not sure why we see markets are reacting since they don't have too much influence other than some oil. They haven't had internet access in weeks, but not sure why we see. Good question. Maybe it's more. Go ahead.
Anytime the media says the word Iran and ultimatum or anything, the markets react. The 2024 dip we were talking about, the 58K, happened during when Iran bombed Israel. Anytime the last big dip happened when we went into Iran. You notice how it never even blinked when we went into Venezuela. As soon as Iran gets mentioned, the markets dip.
True. And you gotta put a realistic time frame on this, like, because Venezuela happened so quickly, and because what he did in the summer last year, how he just was in and out in a few hours, like 2 or 3 hours with the bombing of Iran, nuclear sites. People just think, oh, well, why is it not over? It's supposed to be 2 weeks. Now, again, my time frame is not as long as Trent's is, but again, it's not going to take freaking 3 weeks to do this. Okay, this is a major operation. Trent, are you still hardline on your number for how long we're going to?
What did I say? A couple months?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's probably even dipping a little further back.
Yeah. I mean, he said the other day on a truth post, he basically said we're almost done here.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. You know what
That's
I mean?
Trump's Easter eggs.
Yeah, maybe it's more of a bigger spillover into another region in the Middle East that will be affected. It's the fact that he lied to all of the Americans' faces and didn't prioritize us, and y'all letting it slide. No bueno. Now, I'm not letting it slide, Jason. It's just that things change, bro. It's not about being a liar. That's the equivalent of me saying, "Hey, man, I'm not going to fight this year. I'm not going to get in any fights this year. I'm not going to do anything, right?" But then I find out my neighbor was hitting on my wife and he slapped my son. Well, now I got to go over there and whoop his ass, right? Because he's a threat to me. And we went over there and bombed Iran nuclear facilities. And then, according to the Trump administration, they said that they were still trying to rebuild again. And he said, look, we have to hit them before they hit us. And that may be a surface level reason, but he's like, you know what? Screw these people. Nobody else is going to do what I'm going to do. Let's just go ahead and just play chess and let's take them all down all at the same time. But who knows, Jason? Who knows? I don't think it's that simple as, oh, he just lied to us. You know what I mean? cashing out their filtered BTC. So since no oil, no weapons. What's that mean, backpacker?
Cashing out their filtered Bitcoin since no oil, no weapons. Fanny, rephrase that question.
So we're going to fight Israel's war at the expense of Americans' lives. I can't stand behind that. What do you think about that, Trent?
I think we did what we had to do. I mean, we don't know what's being said in these behind the meetings. I mean, I don't know what's happening in the control room, but as far as the intelligence that's being released, it's basically saying we had to go in, or Israel was going to use nuclear weapons, and I don't know if that's a better solution or not. I think we have the I don't want to say we have the ability to make it a cleaner war, but a nuclear war in Tel Aviv would have killed 20-30 million people. Or not Tel Aviv. Sorry, I always forget that Iran's capital because they sound so close to Israel's.
Yeah, I don't know it either.
Yeah. It's either
Tehran.
I think it's Tehran. Yeah.
Backpack, what do you think about Jason's viewpoint of this?
I don't know. I'm tired of the Israel thing. I'm tired of is Israel doing this?
Yeah,
it's Israel's fault. You're just sucking Israel's tits. Nah. I'm so tired of that story. It's such an easy play to just be like, oh, you're doing Israel stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
The cop out.
But I'm also not. I mean, Israel also is in the Middle East. The Middle East is, and I'm not saying Middle Eastern people are bad or the culture or anything like that. It's the jihadi lunatics, right? We also need to remember too that there's people just like us living there that have lives, moms, dads, husbands, kids that don't even have the opportunity to have a life. And we're coming in here trying to, I wouldn't go as far as say liberate them, but we're trying to get rid of the evil people that are doing evil things to these people so they can actually have a life. We're trying to give them an opportunity. I kind of steer away from the whole Israel, I don't even play that game. I'm not doing that. We're America. We make our own choices.
We can literally just get it to the point where, does it help America's world position by dealing with Iran right now? It does, because Iran's one of the number one providers of oil to China. And if China decides to, do things in Taiwan or other military actions around that area, if you can't handle the oil supply to China, you're going to have issues, and there's going to be a much bigger conflict than the one we have in Iran.
Mm-hmm. I think we should bring Jason on the chat. Jason's got a lot to say.
I think, yeah, absolutely. I think it's great. I love it. I think it's fantastic.
Jason, you want to come in on the chat? If anything, Israel is more of America's B, and they don't have anything without us. Tired of the truth? Because he said, basically, Trent, he said things happen was a horrible answer.
I've read it all.
Okay.
Me and Jason don't see eye to eye. It's fine.
Tired of the truth. Big gang, like it. Crazy. Jason, you want to come on up here and talk for a minute or what? Look into the Tri-Territorial Commission in the Rothschild banking system. Then it'll make sense, gang. Christ is king. Yeah, I agree. I just don't agree with what you take, bro. Respectfully.
Just real quick. You got a 1, 2, 3. Zach?
Thank you.
And the message says Hiya, Hiya.
Well, so we know messages work.
Yeah, thank you. Like the open discussion. That's awesome. Yeah, man, we're just chilling. And it ain't no.
We don't have to get an argument. It's
it ain't
our
no
opinion,
argument.
your opinion, right?
Yeah, that's all. Everybody see, this is one of those things. We still Freedom fan. I just can't hop on because I'm at work. Maybe on my break or another free time for sure. Okay. It's one of those things that it's a very, touchy situation. You know what I mean? and people are going to have their opinions. I understand why they do it, but me, I'm just a wait and see type of person. I want to see what happens. And again, I'm not in the situation room, so I have no fucking idea what's going on. I just look at the clues and I look at these things and I try to put things together, and I try to use common sense. You know what I mean? And I do trust Trump, and I don't think, again, he lied to us just to get into a war. I don't think that. I just think things change.
Yeah,
Me personally, we're all family here. That's right.
absolutely.
All right, guys. So speaking of AI, right? I'm talking about AI and Bitcoin and stuff like that. AI is obviously the future, and it's not going anywhere. Right? We know that. I was very reluctant to get involved with it.
You love
AI,
it though, don't you?
I do love it. I do love it. And I would
Told ya.
say you two are definitely way more ahead of me. I use Grok. I pay $30 a month, and that's as far as I've gone so far. What do you guys see in the future, 3 to 5 years out, how AI is going to change the world from uh, a white collar job thing, where people are working and, finance and stuff like that, and also how is it going to help people as far as making more money, having more assistance and stuff like that, and how will it affect Bitcoin? What do you think they'll use Bitcoin?
You want to go first, Anthony? Because I have a long one.
You got a lot on this, and all right, I'll roll with it real quick. There's a couple different angles you can approach this, guys. So there's a overall market, overall system, the country as a whole type thing, encompassing everything as a whole. There's that angle. I like to really focus on the angle of the individual for me personally. I think AI is a great tool. I think that when people back in the day didn't have calculators and they said, I did it in my head. Well, if you had a calculator, you would have used it. Okay. So number one is we got to understand that time doesn't stop, as we know this. Time continues going. We need to change with the times. We need to adapt with the times. Now, that doesn't mean that we still don't do our own due diligence, right? But you use AI to help round out your critical thinking, your thoughts, get some feedback off it. Because I still think it's important for us to circumvent our own ideas, and AI can polish it. Now, as far as the workforce goes, so that's using as a tool, as a content creator, individual, a homeschooling mother or father, right? Things like that. Number one, it's a tool. Number two is from a market standpoint of, I'm going to say, Jerry, delivery services in general. I think absolutely there's going to be this is going to rattle the market a little bit. We know automation's been around for a long time, but now integrating AI as like a brain mechanism within the automation, it's definitely beefed up that sector. So, do I think we're going to have like robots delivering food and stuff like that? Man, that's a hard question. I don't think so. I know some places are doing a lot of pilot programs with drones and delivery stuff like that, more heavier metropolitan areas. But I think it's beneficial. I think it's a good thing. But just like anything, every pro there's a con, and we just got to take that as we go, man.
You got me all over the place because it's a long, open-ended question.
Yeah.
So coming from telecom, y'all know I'm from that background. I work for a very large company. I'm never going to say the name. It's not hard to figure out though. Our CEO went to that, what was the big financial meeting over in Europe?
Was it Davos?
Davos, yes. He went there, rubbed elbows with all the high-end, AI companies and all the IT places. We had an hour like webinar after that meeting. He talked about AI for 45 minutes of the hour. Like, you need to learn how to use AI. You need to know how to do this with AI. AI is the future. That's all he talked about for 45 minutes. And so in white collar, yeah, it's the stuff it can do right now, and it's as dumb as it's ever going to be right now. It can do 90% of a secretary's job, maybe 99. It can do, well, then we're not even talking about coding. Like there used to be this app on the Play Store that all us telecom guys use to do cable pairs. and they took that app off the Play Store. It must not have been making any money or whatnot. I recreated that app plus made it better in 2 days with AI. Like, it's 10 times better than the old app. And then I just released it to all my guys. The things you can do right now, I mean, it basically runs half my YouTube channel. Like, I use it for ideas, and you're right, Anthony, because it can hallucinate. You have to keep it in check. Like, you have to, like, it's a tool, and you have to call it out when it's being dumb, because otherwise it'll try to fool you, and that happens all the time. So in 5 years, I see, half the white collar jobs gone, maybe more. 10 years, the rest of them. And then we'll start seeing, after 10 years, we'll start seeing blue collar and the rest of them go away too.
Wow. Damn, I didn't know that about the app. Holy crap.
Yeah, I made it functional in a day.
Yeah.
Actually, it was like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, we'll be having an app in about a month. Just want to let you guys know. If you want to get on the wait list, let us know.
For real. Mega, what's up, brother? I work in a creative industry, and everyone around me is bashing AI like crazy. And here I am defending it like peeps. Open your eyes. We are reliving the second industrial revolution. Yes.
Those same people were all mad about Photoshop 10 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, it is the second industrial revolution. And also, when these robots and them come together, and this is the Bitcoin piece. Did you guys hear about that thing where the AI were trying to hire human beings to do something to get the banks for them and stuff like that? Did you guys hear about that? To get them a bank account or something?
So,
I believe Anthony brought it up, right?
Yeah, I heard of something. It might be something different, but it's still similar in the aspect that the AI is trying to utilize human beings for the physical aspect to do things the AI can't.
Yeah. And they're paying the human beings.
Correct.
Like, in 2026, human beings are getting paid by AI.
Yeah. I forgot the name of it.
That is crazy. Now, how do you guys think Bitcoin and AI will go together? Trent, what do you think about that? Do you think AI will want Bitcoin or?
That's super hard to tell. Like, until you get to like a general intelligence. Right now, I think that it's whatever the human wants to take for currency. Like, if they want Caspa, or if they want Bitcoin, or if they want ETH, or if they just want USDT, that's what it'll take. Until it decides, like a general AI, like 5-10 years from now, when it actually has real intelligence, makes the decision Bitcoin's the answer, then Bitcoin will become its currency. It's just, I don't know if it'll make that decision. I mean, I'm not smart enough to, and I'm obviously biased, so I would like it to do it, but I can't say it will functionally pick that every time.
Yeah. I'm the same way because, we tend to live in our Bitcoin bubble sometimes. And I just don't do that. It's hard not to, but that's why I always talk about different things. I'm listening to all kind of stuff, not from I try not to do it from a Bitcoin perspective, even though I'm a hardcore Bitcoin maxi, I guess. But I listen to just regular people out here talking about regular things. And, every once in a while, they'll bring up Bitcoin, and even fewer, they'll bring up Bitcoin and AI together. Like sometimes they'll do it on CNBC or something. Some guy that has some Bitcoin may say it or something like that. But like you said, Trent, I don't know. That's a tough one because, that when we're in our echo chambers of the Bitcoiners, what do they say? Oh, yeah, that's all they're going to want is Bitcoin. I'm like, well, maybe 10 years from now they will. But if you do ask AI, and I don't know if you guys ever tried this, ask AI, like, what's the hardest money? What's the best money? I've asked, and they said Bitcoin. What did they say to you, Trent?
You want to know what they said to me? It was the Kuwaiti dinar is the most robust currency on the planet.
Oh.
So it tries to read you. Like, if you talk to AI, Jerry, it's building a profile on you. It almost knows what you want to hear, and then it'll give you that.
Okay.
So that's why I was saying too, Jerry, another thing with your client or whatever client you decide to use, because they are different in their own ways, but absolutely. But if you had one thread and you kept that thread going, like that was my main thread. No matter what I do, I'm only going to post in that thread. I'm going to keep that thread going for like a year. It's really going to take that thread and build as you go down. I always try to start a new thread or a new one, at least on the client that I use.
What do you use? Because sometimes that doesn't even work because it can read between threads sometimes. It just depends on the client you use.
Yeah, I think you might use the same as me. I use Gemini.
Gemini can read into the other threads.
Yeah, and so you have to, like you said, you have to manipulate it. But real quick, there's 651,773 rentable humans for the rent-a-human.
It's insane.
Wow.
Now, this was open source. And yeah, I mean, it's getting bigger and bigger. Like I seen this a couple of weeks ago, or like last week or so, whatever, and that number's doubled. And there's starting to be more confirmations of payment. Like people are getting confirmed.
That is insane. Everything is moving so fast, man. Like even me and my little DoorDash and Uber Eats thing, I see things growing exponentially, especially here in Las Vegas. When you see those driverless cars, I'm seeing more and more of those. That's number one. Number two, it's obvious that, McDonald's and all these companies, when you go into these fast food restaurants, a lot of them, and you guys can tell me in your area, they don't have anybody at the front counter. That's my area.
The drive-thrus are even starting to become AI.
Yeah. And I went to this one place and it was completely automated from the front to the drive-through. They just had one person sitting in there, almost like a manager / technician kind of like
running.
Yeah, they knew how to run the store, but they also were like a technician. Because I talked to him a long time. He's like, "Oh yeah," and everything was automatic. You know what I mean? I'm just like, "Wow, bro." So, the AIs with the robotics. Sometimes I'm not going to lie, guys. I get scared, and sometimes I think about iRobot. Sometimes.
Yeah.
What do you guys? Do you guys think about that sometimes?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, how can you not? I mean, you know what I mean?
Just look at the dog with like the M4 strapped to the back that they prance around in China, or that's not even a Chinese robot, but like they usually use it for like bomb sniffing, but they just basically strapped an M4 behind it and now it can shoot. I'm like, okay, no thanks.
Yeah, it's scary, man. Kevin, what's up, brother? 21 Sat Street. How you doing, brother?
What's up, Kev?
They will want whatever they are built to take in. Yes. What's up, 21? I feel like I see a harder turn with this than the photography switch, but people are freaking out. And here I am trying to think what can be my pickaxe to sell to these people. Yeah.
Good. That's a good way to do it.
I mean, we know, guys, that you never let a good opportunity go to waste, right? And so that circles back to what we said about we need to adapt with the times, right?
And it's true. Like even if like that app idea, I don't know how to code, but that just gave so many people that have ideas. Like I had an idea and I needed to implement it, and it helped me implement my idea. So AI sucks at ideas. It gives you the most generic, dumb idea ever, but it can absolutely put your idea into the world.
Yeah, your prompt is a lot.
Yeah, good point. Like if you want to write something, and if you tell it to write it, it won't be that good. But if you write it, then they can fill in the things you're saying.
Yeah, like, even if it just like starts building up what I call your voice, like it takes a while to build that. And like right now, Claude is pretty good at. It knows how because it's seen my transcripts from my videos. It's seen what I've written. It's got like this like fingerprint of how I talk, and now it's pretty good at writing. Like you can't tell the difference between the two of us.
I wonder how that's going to affect kids in school.
Oh, I already know that.
Tell me.
There are YouTube videos right now of people asking how, like not very old either, like sixth graders. They're like, oh no, not even. It was like third graders that were still trying to learn whatever age you learn to read at. Some kid was basically like, I don't need to read. AI will read it, and then it'll just read it to me out loud. I'm just like, what? It's insane.
Wow. And I was just about to bring that up because, we're a little older than these, teenagers and 20-year-olds. It's like the more and more smart things are, the more and more dumb we're getting. Like when I was a kid, I knew people's phone numbers. I had to write it down. We had to actually do things. Everything is so like we don't have to dial a phone, a number anymore on the phone. That's been a long time, but it's like when I had a house phone, I had to dial the number. You had to actually cook your food. Now you got air fryers, you got microwaves, you got all these things. I know you don't mess with a backpacker. Do you guys think AI is going to dumb people down even more?
It's already doing it.
Yeah, I think, and that's why I said what I said was the critical thinking aspect. It's like it's still important to do your due diligence, but that may be easy for us to say because we were coming out of a traditional system and we're rolling into the beginnings of an AI system. But the kids that are born into the AI system have never been introduced to that world prior to. So I guess it's easy for me to say, yeah, critical think and do your work and this and that. But I can respectfully say for our kids, we teach them the reading, writing, arithmetic, old school, smash mouth, homeschool education. They still write, they know cursive, they know how to do all these things, they know how to do long division, multiplication, all these things, write paragraphs and all that. But that's also that's because we've taught them that. So my question is, what's going to happen? Are the schools going to be adopting this? Because I haven't seen them adopting it as much as I thought they would. But where's that? When is that transition going to happen?
The schools themselves are kind of doing cat and mouse stuff right now. They're on the other edge of AI. They're not really trying to use it to teach and whatnot. They're trying to find out, hey, I need a program to catch these kids cheating. So the kids will write something in AI, send it in, and then they have to run it through another program to see if it sounds like AI. And if it fails the AI test, they have to rewrite it, or they fail the paper or something. That's what I'm hearing.
Man, I just the exponential growth, the compounding of this stuff that's happening so fast. I mean, guys, do you guys remember 2016? Like the world looks fucking completely different from 2016. That was only 10 years ago. What the hell are we going to be doing in 2036, guys? It is going to be unrecognizable.
I don't even know what I'm doing next week.
It's going to be unrecognizable, man. But as you guys know, we're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time, though. We've been here about an hour. Is there anything else that you guys in particular you want to talk about? Or is there any questions that you guys have for us? Anthony, do you have anything you want to say, or Trent?
You go, Anthony.
I just think in general with I'll speak in general with the current events going on in the world and everything. I always say this, it's important to be in the know. Know what's going on, but learn how to dip in and out of it. Learn how to still live in reality. Read the news, do your research, do your homework, but don't allow that to overly consume you. Don't allow that to justify or identify, that be the identification of who you are. Still stay humble, stack the sats, build relationships, all the talking points. You guys know this. Eat healthy, work on yourself. But absolutely be in the know. And I think it's important for us to not only look at, the Middle East, AI, sustainability, just be a well-rounded person. So.
Agreed.
I think I'm to the point where my advice would be to just unplug. I think everybody's just too plugged in right now. I don't know if most people know, in the copper field, there's just not a lot of work, and they finally sent me to do some fiber work. And so last Friday, it was super nice weather. I got to be outside all day. I got to, climb some ladders, install some internet, and being productive was like the best I felt in weeks. And I didn't check my phone once. I didn't care what the internet was doing, what AI was doing. Just unplug, go touch some grass.
Agreed. It's a battle for me because we don't want to live through the TV, internet news, all that stuff. Like you guys said, go out there and touch grass and stuff. But for me, at the same time, it's like because I make content and I'm so worried about the repercussions of burying my head in the sand. But you're right. We do have to unplug and live in the real world and just live in your surrounding areas. And just like what Trent said, I couldn't agree more. I don't make a lot of money doing DoorDash. Obviously, it's a low level, low paying job, but the satisfaction that I get of being in my car, letting my hair blow in the wind, getting outside, touching and talking to so many different people, because we're so involved with all this. But when I go out there and talk to regular people, they don't know shit about any of this stuff that we're talking about. They don't know about politics. They don't know about geopolitics. They don't know about Bitcoin. They don't know about the fourth turning. They don't know about any of the stuff that we always talk about. And it's almost like I don't want to say, well, I'm rotting my own mind, but it's just like, does this stuff really matter in my real life short term? Probably not. But it's a balance that I'm working on. But that's very good advice from you guys. I completely agree with that. But one last thing, guys. What do you guys think about because the debt clock is saying that we're spending a little less and we're making a little bit more. How do you think this war, because they're saying we're spending about $1 billion a day on it, how do you think this will affect inflation short and long term with this war?
Short term, obviously, it's gonna inflate. More you spend, the more you devalue your dollar. Long term, blip on this. Just blip on the map. Like you're not gonna be able to go back and be like COVID and see the spike. Maybe a little blip, but that's about it.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that well, it's war, so money printer go burr. I mean, we know that's going to happen. Do I think the debt's going to go backwards? Respectfully, no. Sorry, it's just not going to happen. Everybody's going to spend. The government's going to spend. As long as fiat is doing its thing, it's going to continue to go up. Now, with certain circumstances, events that happen over a period of time, short and long, medium term, whatever, it'll change gears accordingly. It's going to, I'm going to drop back to second. Okay, I'm going to pop back into third. Okay, we're going into fourth. But I think that your it's just going to go up and to the right. It's just going to, so.
I kind of want to even twist that question. Do you think the war is going to have more influence on the economy than, say, AI in even 3 years from now? I'd say AI you're going to be able to see that on the chart part more than this Iran war.
Well, it depends on what the result is. I think AI is going to have more impact, but I think the war is going to have impact if what my thesis is that we not only become 100% energy independent, but knock out what China is doing, and we're making money on oil. If we do, that's what some people say we may do. I don't know if we're going to do that or not. But a lot of people are saying if we quote unquote win this war, things will be cheaper for us, and the economy will be better. I don't know about that. Short term, obviously, we're paying a lot at the pump right now because of this stuff. And again, I DoorDash, so this is killing me. Like the average price right now is like $4.25 here right now. But I don't know, man. We'll see. We got a long way to go, man, and it's tough to try to zoom out of something that you're already in and don't know the results yet. But it's good to speculate and guess and see what's going on. So, but anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate all the comments, the love, and you guys being here. Samson option is a bit scary. What's up, Gray Motion? How are you, sir? We are unschooling our kids. Sound weird, but they are educated, just not nonsense. Exactly. And we appreciate you guys. And we'll be here next Sunday with the Truth to Work podcast with my two partners and co-hosts here. And again, we come here just to wrap up the week and just to remind everybody that everything's not bad and everything's not black pilled. And again, like my two co-hosts said, to get out there and be positive and touch grass. But the most important thing is keep your mind on the things that you want and keep your mind off the things that you don't want and go after the things that you want. And unfortunately, there are a lot of people in the world that sometimes they could be Debbie Downers. But, the world is a tough place. And we all have our opinions. And we respect everybody's opinion. So thank you guys so much for joining us. We're here to, again, give you the truth of work. And make sure you guys join us next week on the show. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll see you soon. Thank you guys so much. Peace and love, guys.